Let's talk about charities then for about 10 minutes or so. We've seen lots of you donating or doing things to raise money for charity, and particularly right now during Ramzan as well. Lots of people paying zakat as well. But lots of you are also taking pay cuts, out of work, and as much as you might want to, even giving to your regular charities isn't something we are able to do right now. It might be that actually you yourself are in need of help that charities can offer. If that is you, get in touch with me right now, 03459 440 445. If this is something that is really speaking to you on the programme today, I want to hear from you. Text 81869. You can remain anonymous, of course. Right, let's speak about this a little bit more. Iqbal Naseem from the Muslim-led charity in the UK National Zakat Foundation says they've seen a sharp rise in the number of people coming to them needing financial help. We've also got Jahangir Mohammed, who's a specialist in Islamic and non-Islamic charities in the UK and abroad, to talk about any risk of donation shortfalls for charities, whether they can meet demand. But first, Mohammed, who, like many, is facing a lot of financial struggle himself because of this pandemic and has looked to the National Zakat Foundation for support. And like I said, if you have any support, any words that you want to mention to Mohammed or any of the others, get in touch, 81869. Or if you yourself are struggling right now, I would love to speak to you. You can, like I've said, remain anonymous. We will not give your name out if you don't want to. Just give me a ring, 03459 440 445. So, Mohammed, thank you for coming on, sharing your story. Tell us about your situation.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed. My situation was really bad after when I was working in the construction, and they said to me that you're not getting paid anything, and you have to go, and until further notice we'll let you know when to come back. And in this situation, I was trying to get a hold on universal credit. And I mean, from 26 March and all this time, I didn't get a chance. I mean, they took 2 times our interview, and there's no source of money coming at home. One of my friends told me, why don't you apply to National Zakat Foundation? So, alhamdulillah, and I've got a big relief after that. The way they done the job is really fantastic, and really deserve to give the money to National Zakat Foundation. I've seen that lots of charity people there. I mean, they're giving outside the country, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the situation in the UK is at the moment is really bad.
Well, that's a really good point. Let's come on to that in a moment, Mohammed. For people out there, are you more likely to give abroad? Maybe help build a well in the village that your family come from. Is it something like that? 81869. Let me know, or WhatsApp 07920 500 200. Do you realise that people here in this country, in the very same street, perhaps, are struggling as well? What do you do about that? Let me know. So, Mohammed, this must have been very, very stressful. All of this for you.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, I will request to everybody. I mean, if we give fundings only in our country, it will be the best option at the moment. I mean, you carry on.
I just want to ask you about your situation. We will talk a lot about that in a moment, but I just want to hear about you, if that's okay. So you said it was stressful for you, right?
Yeah.
How was it stressful?
I went in arrears. I've got a 2-month rent, which I couldn't pay because it was unexpected in the COVID outbreak. As what the Prime Minister said, we're going to take it for 3 weeks and then it goes on for like a month. We won't be able to open until June. That's what I heard. And in this situation, I mean, I've got in arrears, 2-month arrears, and I've got other expenses to pay, like phone bill and energy supply, and all this month I was relying on the food bank.
So you were in 2 months of arrears, and it's not just you in the house, is it? There's your family. You've got kids.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's a private rental houses, and the private rental property. I mean, the landlord, they don't stop. I mean, they need the money as well. So it was a big pressure on me. I mean.
Of course it is. You've got 2 young kids. You've got a partner. You're in arrears of 2 months' rent. Were you worried that you might be made homeless or anything like that?
Yeah. for like 2 days, there was no energy supply at home, and me and my wife, we need to go without food for 2 days. I mean, and the kids, they can't eat our food. I mean, they need especially a baby food. That's what they're eating all this time. So it was a very, very bad situation for me. I mean, alhamdulillah, when I approached to National Zakat Foundation, they took a very quick action.
Yeah, I just want to dwell on that moment, though, Mohammed. Thank you. I mean, it's great that you're so grateful, and I will come to the others in a moment, especially from the Zakat Foundation. But the fact that we are in a first world country, the fact that we are in, I think it's the 6th largest economy in the whole world, and there is someone here saying that they went without food for 2 days, they had no energy, and they had to feed their kids. That doesn't sound right to me, because if we're in such a developed country, no one should have to go through that. But that is the situation for people right now. How do you feel about this? 03459 440 445 or text 81869. Okay, one more question for you, Mohammed, before we move on to Iqbal and Jahangir. How did they help you?
They asked to send application. I mean, if you go online, you need to fill the application, and whatever relevant document you got, they ask you need to submit that. And within 2 days, they will approach you. I mean, if any document missing, they will let you know by email. And it says that they will do this application approved in next 10 days. But
great, Mohammed. So how did they help you? What do they give to you?
They give me, first of all, in the first place, when I first made an application, they helped me with my debt, £400, and they gave me £700 extra for the food and fuel and for essentials. But for the second application, they paid me my council tax and my rent arrears. So that was a big relief for me.
Yeah. That is really, really supportive and charitable and really, really good that you're in this situation now. Thank you, Mohammed. Stay there. Yeah. I want to bring the others back into this now as well. Let's go to Iqbal then from National Zakat Foundation. Iqbal Naseem, incredible what you've been able to do and help Mohammed in that way.
Thank you for having us. As Mohammed's been constantly saying, we say, Alhamdulillah, God be praised for the support that it's not so much that we've been able to do, but, thousands of Muslims around the country obviously have been giving zakat. And our message since we started out in 2011 has been to Muslims in this country to really think about giving zakat locally, because obviously up until that point, that was an extremely rare thing to have done. So we've managed to facilitate, in the last couple of years, around £3 to £3.5 million of zakat locally circulating within the country, within the community. And, especially given the scenario at the moment, many thousands of Muslims are coming forward and they're giving zakat locally because they realize that unless that happens, then on the other end of the spectrum, there are thousands of those who are reaching out to us for support. And frankly, if it's not for the funds that are coming through, and if the zakat runs out, basically, then we'll be in a position where we're not able to do much. But it's been really positive so far, the response from the community, and I'm very grateful for everybody.
Can you explain for people who might not know what zakat is?
Absolutely, yeah. So zakat is the third of 5 pillars in Islam. So after the testimony of faith and the 5 sort of daily prayers, zakat comes next, and it's an annual duty, if you like, or an obligation to pay typically 2.5% of one's disposable wealth on an annual basis, and that's a contribution to social welfare, community development, to be of support to the Muslims in a certain community.
And you work that out based on your own salary and how much you have as well. That there are certain rules around there, aren't there, Iqbal? But effectively, it's something that Muslims have to pay each year, and it is something that is a pillar of the religion as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. One of the unique features about it is that it's more of a wealth calculation, it's really more of a wealth tax than it is an income sort of tax. So your salary doesn't necessarily come into it, but you would have a fixed date every year. Each individual would have a fixed date each year in the Islamic calendar. And then on that particular date, they would just make an assessment of their affairs. On that day, they'll take into account their cash, certain investments they may have, for example. Won't go into too much detail, but there's lots of information on our website about it for those who are looking to calculate their zakat. But yeah, it's like a balance sheet calculation, a point in time. Here's my affairs. I pay my 2.5%, and we consider that to then be like a purification of the self, purification of one's wealth, a contribution to those who are less fortunate or others who may be deserving. And then so it's like the last date of your Islamic financial year almost, right? You sort of clear up, and then you move on, and then next year you assess your affairs again, and depending on where you've ended up, you will pay accordingly.
And how many people like Mohammed have you seen, particularly at this time with coronavirus, come to you needing help? Yeah,
so it's really sort of skyrocketed the number of people who are reaching out to us for support. Over the last month, we've seen over 3,000 people apply to us from around the country. So that's literally 1 every 15 minutes, which for us is massive. Like before, I think our busiest, we never exceeded 1,000 in a month before. So we're literally seeing 100 to 150 fresh applications every day now.
Really, really worrying to hear this. 81869, let me know your thoughts on all